Archangel Michael says, "The heavens watch over you, even when you don't realize it." The paths of destiny twist in ways unseen, and tonight, something remarkable has unfolded. You have outsmarted an officer unknowingly, moving with the grace of the divine, guided by forces beyond human comprehension. There was no plan, no premeditated intention, yet the event unfolded perfectly. The officer stood with authority, thinking he was in control, yet you moved past him as if the wind carried you. It was a moment where fate tilted in your favor, where the veil between the natural and supernatural thinned. This was no ordinary occurrence, no mere coincidence. It was a divine intervention hidden within the ordinary, a stroke of heavenly brilliance. The officer, unaware, remained trapped within his own perception, never realizing the shift in reality that had taken place. Archangel Michael says, "The unseen forces guide those who walk with purpose." You may not have felt it, but the weight of celestial hands pressed upon your shoulders, leading you forward. There are moments when the world bends for those who align with the unknown, moments where barriers cease to exist. 333, type Amen to receive the blessing. A shadow passed over the moment, but it was not darkness, it was the hand of providence. There are forces in this world that manipulate reality, unseen threads that pull in directions unfathomable. You moved, unaware, but something greater than you ensured that your steps were precise. The officer stood firm, his presence radiating authority, but authority is an illusion to those who understand the hidden mechanics of fate. He believed he had control, believed he could see all, yet something slipped past him like smoke in the night. That something was you. Archangel Michael says, "Power is not in who stands tallest but in who moves unseen." The divine does not always roar, sometimes, it whispers, pushing fate in subtle, untraceable directions. The moment you walked past that officer, a shift occurred, one that not even he could perceive. The wind carried your presence like a secret, tucking it away from the perception of those who sought to find it. There was no force, no deception, only an unseen path revealing itself to you in that moment. The officer believed he was watching everything, yet he saw nothing at all. 777, type Amen to receive divine guidance. You have unknowingly danced with fate, stepping through reality with an elegance that defied logic. This was no trick, no strategy, but a natural unfolding of something written in the stars long before this moment arrived. The officer, standing tall, never realized the shift in power that had occurred. Everything about this night was ordinary, yet the event was anything but. The air was still, the sounds of the world unchanged, yet in the quiet, a great movement had occurred. You had become a piece of something grander, a player in a divine script written beyond mortal understanding. Archangel Michael says, "Those who move with divine favor need not fear the gaze of authority." What happened tonight was not a mistake, nor was it luck, it was a predestined moment unfolding in perfect harmony. You have been part of something far greater than a simple oversight. The officer was unaware, oblivious to the unseen hand that had guided events. He believed he stood guard, but in truth, he was merely a figure within a story whose direction had already been determined. You, unknowingly, had already been chosen to pass through untouched. 999. Type Amen to walk the path of destiny. Not everyone experiences such a moment, a time when reality bends just enough to allow the impossible. It was not magic, not trickery, but something beyond both, a movement orchestrated by unseen forces. You did not need to plan, for the path had already been made clear. The officer's perception was a veil, one that he believed covered all things. But there are some things beyond the sight of those who believe they hold control. He never saw what had truly happened, never felt the shift in fate that had unraveled before him. Archangel Michael says, "Not all victories are loud, some are as quiet as the night." Tonight, you walked through the veil of perception itself, moving past the gaze of one who believed he saw all. Yet, he never saw you for what you truly were, one guided by forces unseen. The air carried your presence as if it had no weight, as if the world itself had decided you were meant to pass. There was no need for explanation, for the event had already occurred before anyone could understand its significance. The moment had already been decided. 111. Type Amen to unlock hidden wisdom. Reality shifts in ways most will never notice, slipping through the cracks of what is known. You did not need to try, the path had already opened itself to you. What appeared as an accident was instead a carefully placed moment within a divine design. The officer remained still, never suspecting that something greater had moved past him. His mind was trained to notice, yet there are things beyond training, beyond instinct. He was a guardian of order, yet in this moment, order itself bent to allow the impossible. Archangel Michael says, "The unseen roads are walked by those chosen by fate." You did not choose this moment, the moment chose you. The energy of the world adjusted itself, ensuring that you remained unseen to those who believed they could see all. There is a power in moving unnoticed, a force greater than strength or knowledge. Some would call it fate, others a miracle, but it matters not. What matters is that you were part of something beyond explanation, something meant to happen exactly as it did. 222. Type Amen to receive divine protection. Even now, the moment lingers, echoing through the unseen corridors of time. You have stepped beyond the expected, past the boundaries of what should have been possible. This was not an accident but an alignment of forces unseen by human eyes. The officer remains unaware, standing within a reality that did not include the truth of what had occurred. He will never know, never understand the weight of what he missed. You, however, have been touched by something beyond comprehension. Archangel Michael says, "Destiny moves in ways unseen, revealing its path only to those meant to walk it." You have been granted a glimpse beyond the ordinary, a moment where reality itself acknowledged your presence and allowed you to move through it untouched. This was not a test, nor a challenge, but a confirmation. You were meant to experience this moment, meant to walk this path, meant to know that the unseen works in ways beyond explanation. What happened tonight will never leave you, for it was a divine whisper in the fabric of time. 888. Type Amen to embrace your destiny. The air remains still, the night unchanged, yet you are different now. The weight of what has happened lingers, shaping the unseen paths ahead of you. This was not just a passing event, it was a sign, a message written in the silence of the moment. You have moved through fate itself, stepping into a realm beyond understanding. The officer will never know, never see, never realize what has taken place. But you will remember, for this was no accident, this was destiny at work. Archangel Michael says, "You have seen beyond the veil, and now, the world will never look the same." What lies ahead is unknown, but one thing is certain, you are walking a path chosen for you by forces beyond comprehension. This was only the beginning. For 44, type Amen to receive eternal favor. The air hums with an energy that lingers, unseen but undeniable. You may not have realized it in the moment, but what happened was a rare shift in reality. The very fabric of existence moved in your favor, guiding you through without resistance, leaving the officer trapped in an illusion of control. What seemed like an ordinary encounter was, in truth, something far greater. It was a moment where destiny's hand reached down, altering the course of events in your favor. The officer, bound by the limits of his own perception, never stood a chance against what had already been decided. Archangel Michael says, "The chosen do not need permission to walk their path." You were never meant to be stopped, never meant to be questioned, never meant to be seen. The world itself adjusted, ensuring that the moment unfolded exactly as it was written in the unseen scrolls of fate. As you moved, time itself seemed to shift, silent, unnoticed, yet deliberate. The officer remained where he stood, believing he was in command, believing he saw all. Yet, without realizing it, he had been left behind in a reality where you had already moved beyond his grasp. 555, type Amen to walk with divine strength. This was no ordinary luck, no fortunate mistake. This was the silent work of something beyond human understanding, a force that bends the rules of existence for those chosen to walk a different path. You did not force your way through, the way had already been cleared for you. The officer never knew, never sensed the shift in energy, never felt the weight of divine favor moving past him. He stood, unaware that he had already lost, unaware that the moment had been decided before he even stepped into it. He was never in control, fate was. Archangel Michael says, "The unseen world shapes the seen, bending reality for those who are aligned with it." What happened was not something to be questioned, nor something to be explained. It was simply the way things were meant to unfold, a movement written into the very structure of existence. You may feel it now, the energy, the weight of what has happened. A door has been opened, an unseen path revealed, a truth whispered into the depths of your soul. This was not a moment that will fade, it will remain etched into the unseen currents of time. 666, type Amen to awaken divine vision. Even now, the world continues as if nothing has happened. The night remains still, the officer continues his duty, unaware of the shift that passed through his reality. Yet, you have felt it, seen it, experienced something that will never be known to anyone else. It was not a trick, not an accident, not something that can be explained through reason. It was an act of divine favor, a testament to the fact that you are walking in alignment with something greater than yourself. You are moving with a force that ensures no barrier can stand in your way. Archangel Michael says, "You have walked unseen, untouched, unfazed by the illusion of authority." The officer was merely a figure within a greater script, believing he held control, yet never realizing that he was never meant to stop you. He was part of the moment, but he was not its master. You moved past without resistance, without effort, without the weight of hesitation. This was not because you planned it, but because it had already been planned for you. What happened tonight was not a single event, but a glimpse into the power that surrounds you. 000, type Amen to walk in divine timing. A moment like this does not happen by chance. It is a signal, a reminder that the rules of this world do not apply in the presence of higher forces. You are walking within a reality that bends to favor those who are aligned with the unseen. The officer will never question what happened because he will never realize what he missed. To him, the night was just another night, his duties unchanged, his presence unaffected. Yet, beneath the surface of his reality, something far greater had already taken place. Archangel Michael says, "You are moving in the flow of something beyond sight, beyond comprehension." The barriers that exist for others do not exist for you. The rules that hold back most do not apply to those who have been chosen to move freely. This was not an end, but a beginning, a sign that more moments like this are waiting ahead. What has happened is proof that you are not just walking through life, but being carried forward by a force that ensures nothing can stand in your way. 1212, type Amen to embrace your divine path. There will be more moments like this, more instances where reality bends in ways unseen. This is not something that happens once, it is a pattern, a rhythm that has been set in motion. You have stepped into something far greater than a single event. The world may seem unchanged, but something within you has shifted. You will notice it more now, the way things align, the way moments unfold in ways that cannot be explained. This is just the first of many times where the unseen world will move in your favor. Archangel Michael says, "Destiny does not hesitate for those who walk in its flow." The officer was not an obstacle, not a challenge, not even a factor in the grand scheme of what happened. He was merely a presence in a moment that was never his to control. You will begin to see it now, the way doors open without effort, the way situations resolve before they become problems, the way paths reveal themselves before you even take the first step. This is the power of divine alignment. 1313, type Amen to receive the favor of divine timing. The air still hums with the energy of the moment, a reminder that what happened was not just an ordinary occurrence. It was a glimpse into a higher order, a revelation of how the unseen world moves to clear the way for those who are meant to move forward. The officer will remain unaware, bound to a reality that no longer holds the full truth. He was watching, but he was not seeing. He was standing guard, yet he missed the very moment he was meant to control. Fate moved past him without resistance. Archangel Michael says, "The unseen forces do not ask permission to guide those who are chosen." What happened was a silent declaration that you are walking with a power that no authority can override. The moment was written long before it happened, and it happened exactly as it was meant to. Now, you carry the awareness of what has taken place. You may not fully understand it, but you feel it. You know that something beyond comprehension unfolded before you. This was no ordinary event, this was a shift in reality itself. 1414, type Amen to continue walking in divine favor. The night remains still, the world unchanged, yet you are different now. This experience will not fade into nothingness, it will remain with you, a sign of what is to come. More moments like this will follow, and each time, you will recognize them for what they truly are. You are not just living within this world, you are moving through it with unseen guidance. The barriers that others face will not apply to you, because your path is already set. You will continue to move forward, untouched by those who believe they can stand in your way. Archangel Michael says, you are walking in the unseen flow of destiny, and nothing can stop what has already been set in motion. The officer was merely a symbol of the illusion of control, but reality has proven that the true power lies elsewhere. What happened tonight was only the beginning. The road ahead is clear, and with every step, more moments like this will unfold. You are not walking alone, something far greater walks with you, ensuring that nothing stands in your way. 1515, type Amen to seal this revelation in your spirit. The night air whispers the echoes of the moment, though the world itself remains oblivious. What unfolded was not merely a passing event but a glimpse into something ancient, something hidden within the folds of existence. The officer continues his duty, unaware that he has already lost in a game he never knew he was playing. This was not about deception, nor was it about evading authority. It was about the alignment of unseen forces, shifting reality in your favor without effort. You did not have to plan, did not have to strategize. What happened was a natural unfolding of something written long before this night. Archangel Michael says, there are moments when fate moves too fast for the eyes to see. The officer's gaze, firm and unyielding, was no match for the force that guided you. He stood believing he had control, yet he never realized the truth. Control had never been in his hands. The world is full of illusions, filled with those who believe they command the outcome of events. But reality bends not to human will, but to the designs of something far greater. What happened tonight was not a mistake, nor was it a trick, it was a divine orchestration. 1616, type Amen to walk in divine authority. The energy of the moment lingers, though unseen by human eyes. The air carries a presence, a weight, a whisper of what has taken place. Something has shifted, and though the world continues unchanged, you now stand on the other side of an unseen threshold. You may not have fully grasped it yet, but something within you has awakened. This was not a single moment, it was a revelation, a sign of what has always been present but hidden from plain sight. You were meant to move beyond obstacles, meant to walk unseen when the time is right. Archangel Michael says, the path is already set, and no man can block what is destined. You were never meant to be stopped, never meant to be questioned. The officer was merely a fixture in a world that believes it can dictate what unfolds, yet he never had the power to change what was already written. Now, you walk with the knowledge that reality is far more malleable than it seems. The unseen is always working, always shifting, ensuring that those who are aligned with it move forward without resistance. What happened tonight was proof, but it was not an isolated event. 1717, type Amen to unlock hidden pathways. More moments like this will come, moments where the impossible becomes effortless. You will begin to notice the pattern, the way things seem to fall into place in ways others cannot explain. This is not coincidence, this is alignment, a divine current that carries you. The officer, firm in his duty, was never truly standing in your way. He was simply part of a scene that played out exactly as it was meant to. To him, it was just another night, another task, another moment in time. But for you, it was a sign that you are walking in a different reality. Archangel Michael says, "The laws of men are not the laws of the unseen." There is an order far beyond human control, a flow that exists outside the boundaries of what most believe is possible. Tonight, you have seen the evidence of that order in motion. The road ahead is shifting even now, unseen forces adjusting the path before you take your next step. You do not need to know the details, do not need to understand the mechanics of how it works. You only need to walk forward, knowing that reality is already making way for you. 1818, type Amen to step into divine alignment. The air is still, the night unchanged, but you are different now. You have witnessed something most will never see, experienced something most will never believe. The veil has been lifted just enough for you to understand that nothing in this world happens by chance. This was not luck, not a fortunate mistake, but a message written in the silent fabric of reality. You have stepped into something ancient, something that has existed since the beginning of time. Those who walk with divine favor are never truly bound by the limitations of this world. Archangel Michael says, "Those who are chosen walk paths that others cannot see." The moment you moved past that officer was not a test, not a challenge, but a reminder that you are moving within something much larger than yourself. The world believes in barriers, but you have seen beyond them. More doors will open, more moments like this will come, and each time, you will recognize them for what they are. You are walking a path that does not conform to the rules others believe in. The laws of the unseen do not bow to human authority. 1919, type Amen to embrace limitless movement. What happened tonight is something that will stay with you. It will resurface in your mind at unexpected times, a reminder that reality does not always function the way most believe. You have glimpsed a truth that many will never come to understand. The officer, standing in his perceived position of power, never realized that he was a mere spectator in something far greater. His role was never to stop you, never to interfere, but simply to exist within a moment where fate had already decided the outcome. He was never meant to see what truly happened. Archangel Michael says, "You have walked where others could not, moved where others would have been stopped." The world does not understand these moments, does not recognize the shifts that take place beyond the limits of perception. But you have seen it now, and you will see it again. You may not understand why or how, but the truth is undeniable. you are walking in a current that carries you forward, untouched by the barriers that stop others. You have stepped beyond the threshold of ordinary existence, into a path designed for something greater. 2020, type Amen to walk the path of destiny. The night carries on, unaware of the significance of what has taken place. The officer remains where he stood, bound by his own reality, never knowing that something beyond his comprehension has already occurred. You, however, are now different. This was not just a passing moment, it was a glimpse into something much larger. Reality itself moved, the unseen world adjusted, ensuring that your steps were uninterrupted. You have been touched by something beyond explanation, something that will continue to shape your path. Archangel Michael says, "This is just the beginning. Watch, and you will see it again." The world may continue as it always has, but now you carry the knowledge that things are not as they seem. You have walked a path that was opened only for you, and it will happen again. There is no need for worry, no need for doubt. What happened tonight was confirmation, a sign that the road ahead has already been cleared. You do not need to force anything, simply move forward, and you will find that reality bends to meet you. 2121, type Amen to continue in divine favor. This is not the end of the story, but merely the first chapter in something far greater. The world is filled with moments like this, waiting to be seen, waiting to be recognized. What happened tonight was not an accident, it was a revelation. You have been granted a glimpse into the unseen workings of reality, a sign that you are walking in alignment with something beyond human understanding. The officer will never know, never question, never see the truth. But you have seen enough to know that this is just the beginning. Archangel Michael says, "Move forward without fear, for the road ahead has already been prepared." You are not just moving through this world, you are moving with it, walking a path that has already been designed for you. Barriers will not stand in your way. The unseen will continue to guide you, continue to shift reality in ways that cannot be explained. More moments will come, and when they do, you will recognize them for what they are. You have stepped into something beyond the ordinary, something eternal. 2222, type Amen to embrace your divine journey.